Greetings to all conference participants. My name is Eugen Terekov and I am a research associate at Ioneum Research in Graz, Austria. For your attention is a presentation on the topic Recovery of the Energy System of Ukraine towards the Development of Renewable Energies. I hold a degree in business economics and a PhD in economics of nature use and environmental protection. My research focuses on the development of renewable energies and climate policy decisions. Background to the problem. In view of the Europe-wide energy crisis and global climate change, Ukraine could contribute to the development of the entire European energy network if it rebuilds its energy system after the war in accordance with the principles of climate neutrality. The article examines the problem of rebuilding the energy system in Ukraine as a result of the Russian invasion and subsequent destruction of the energy infrastructure. The extent of the destruction of energy facilities was examined in connection with the necessary change in the structure of energy sources used in accordance with climate goals as an opportunity for the modernization of the Ukrainian energy system and its integration into the pan-European power grids. The aim of the research was to identify options for the development of renewable energy in Ukraine as a prerequisite for the modernization of its energy industry towards climate neutrality. The methods. Destruction of fossil energy plants is an incentive for increasing investments in the green sector of the country's energy industry. In order to understand the real scale of the war-related destruction of Ukraine's energy infrastructure, statistical methods of data collection are used, taking into account that currently about one-fifth the Ukraine's territory is occupied by Russia. To determine the necessary change in the structure of energy supply by energy sources in Ukraine, a comparative method was used. For this purpose, structures of primary energy consumption by energy sources in Ukraine and some EU countries that have achieved significant results in achieving climate targets were compared. The calculation of future volumes of electricity production in Ukraine from renewable energy sources was determined by analyzing the capacity factors. These factors are favorable nature conditions for the production of renewable energy, reduction of the cost of green electricity generation, loss of a large part of coal-fired power plants due to the war, development of energy-saving measures in key sectors of energy consumption. Structure of research is next. War-related destruction of Ukraine energy systems. Damage calculations for the energy system of Ukraine due to war. Characteristics of the structure of the energy balance of Ukraine. Disadvantages of the Ukrainian energy system from the perspective of climate neutrality goals. Key goals of the Ukrainian government for climate neutrality on the domestic energy system. Importance of various energy sources in the energy supply of Ukraine. Prerequisites for the integration of the Ukraine energy system into the EU networks. Potential for the production of renewable energies in Ukraine. The greatest destruction of the energy system occurred in zones of occupation of the Ukrainian territory. The greatest damage in Ukraine's energy system as a result of the war was caused to coal and gas power plants, almost all of which were ruined to varying degrees. Restoration of these facilities is required only to stabilize the energy system. Development investments should be directed to the development of renewable energy sources, because only in this energy sector does active innovation development take place. The shrinking of the total population in Ukraine reduces the country's domestic consumption and creates conditions for energy imports uh, from the EU. At the same time, energy saving measures are being taken in key sectors. The country's willingness to export energy is possible for the attraction of foreign investments in the domestic energy sector. The share of green energy in the country's energy balance is changing in line with pan-European trends towards phasing out fossil fuels. However, it's highly likely that Ukraine will remain dependent on the nuclear energy until 2070. In the last years before the war, only renewable energy sources had positive dynamics in their development. Furthermore, according to the plan for the restoration of Ukraine, the share of renewable energy sources in primary energy consumption should increase from current 8% to 25% by 2035. For structural planning of renewable energy, the costs and CO2 intensity should be taken into account. Thus, photovoltaics and onshore wind show the lowest cost of electricity generation among current green power generation technologies. Most favorable regions of Ukraine for electricity generation from wind energy are in the mountainous west and south of the country. The expansion of wind energy plants in the west of the country is preferable from the point of view of security during the war. Solar energy in Ukraine is produced at the lowest cost in the south of the country, but the occupation of Ukraine's territory by Russia in the south currently prevents the development of solar energy plants in this region. According to the project of the recovery plan of Ukraine, pessimistic and optimistic scenarios of the development of renewable energy sources were created. These variants reflect the scope of investments that can be included. Depending on the pessimistic and optimistic scenarios for the development of renewable energy in Ukraine and without nuclear power. Ukraine's export potential in 2050 could vary from profit 197.27 terawatt horse to deficit 71.1 terawatt hour per year. Only in the optimistic scenario would it be possible for Ukraine to convert its energy supply structure to a climate neutral basis by 2070, ensure its competitiveness on the energy market and integrate its energy networks into the pan-European energy system. Thank you for your attention.